Hey guys, welcome to the top 5 things beginners want to know for Affinity Photo for iPad. If you're new to photo editing software, there's a lot going on and it can kind of be a little confusing. So what I do in this video is I'm going to take the top 5 things that beginners just always want to learn. I'm going to wrap it up into a video and I'm going to show you guys as quick as I can how to do these things. That way you guys can hit the ground running and become great photo editors yourself. Let's just get into it and let's start editing. Okay, so here I have a picture I took from Electric Forest Festival, and it's just this girl dancing in front of the stage. Perfect picture for what we're about to do here. So the number one thing that people always want to do when they're new is learn how to remove blemishes. And that is an easy thing to do in Affinity Photo for iPad, so let me show you how to do it. First, we're going to make a new layer. Then we're going to go down to this palette right here in this little subtool menu bar, and we're going to go to the in-painting brush. Once the in-painting brush is selected, let's bring this size down. As you can see at the bottom, we have a couple different options. Because we are on a top layer and we're not on the original layer, we need to go ahead and do current layer and below. This is going to allow us to do the current layer and below. So all you got to do with this is you just pretty much go over all the things you want to do. Let me make the brush a little bit bigger. But as you can see, I'm just going over and pretty much drawing out all the little blemishes that I want. Now, there are more advanced ways to do this. This is kind of the quick and dirty way, but it works great and it's very quick. And as you can see, we haven't even been talking for a couple minutes here, and already we got a lot of these blemishes knocked out. So let's do the before and after. That's quite a bit for such a quick amount of time. So we can keep doing this. There should be a card coming up in the corner, in the upper right-hand corner, that says frequency separation. That's a more advanced way to remove blemishes. And if you want to learn more about that, you can watch one of my other videos where I really go into it. Now, let's get rid of this deodorant here. But as you can see, super easy. Not a problem for a beginner. Moving on. The next thing everybody wants to do right off the bat is remove items out of the background. So let's say we wanted to get rid of the guy sitting here. We're gonna do the same thing. It's the same basic thing. The in-painting brush is very versatile. It's good for blemishes. It's good for like removing full objects out of the background or foreground or whatever it is. So we're gonna go over this and we're gonna see if it gets it the first time. And sometimes you got to go over it twice, but it will get it. The in-painting brush is very powerful. Actually, that works right off the bat. So there we go. Number 2, getting rid of things in the background. It's that simple. And as you can see, we can go on and off. The next thing that people always want to do is they want to know how to do selections so they can do masks and stuff like that. That couldn't be easier in Affinity Photo for iPad. We are going to go into the selection persona. We are going to go to the smart selection brush. We're going to bring our layers up here and we're going to go on the layer with the girl on it. And we're going to make our thing a little bit smaller. And we're going to kind of go around the edge here. And as you can see, we're easily getting our selection. I'm going to make the brush a little bigger so this goes a little quicker. But the Smart Selection tool does a really good job of, knowing what we're trying to select and quickly getting it selected for us. Now, if you will notice down at the bottom, there's a thing that says mode, and we are right now in add. Adding is going to get our selections, and if we ever go out of the box and need to bring these marching ants back in, which might happen up here. Okay, it didn't happen, but I'm going to do it just real quick just to show you. Let me get some of these little things out of here. Okay. So if I would have went up into there a little bit, all you got to do is go back down to subtract, and bam, it is that simple. So I do see we have a couple little edges that didn't work right here. That's okay, because I'm going to show you something in the next. This was a pretty simple dress, and it's pretty simple to select. However, sometimes you have things that are a little more complex, and I'm going to show you how to get them. What you want to do is on the toolbar on the left, you want to go all the way down to the Refine Selection tool, and that's going to bring you into this little section right here where we can refine parts that we missed, like right there. Don't worry about these blobs. That's from the top layer, which is not being masked right now. But as you can see, we missed a little bit right here. And all you got to do is take your brush and go over it. And it's going to refine it. It's going to say, oh, I see the edge right there. And that's what you guys were looking to do. And it worked perfect. And that's that. Okay, make sure you hit the check mark to select everything. And now we have a really good selection. So we're going to move on to number 4. Number 4 is adjusting colors. Yes, everybody always wants to know how to adjust colors. Well, not a problem. Very simple. We're going to do an adjustment layer. So we're going to go to our adjustments, and we're going to scroll down to HSL Adjust. Okay, and as you can see, the menu popped up for it, and all we're going to do here is we can play with the hue and go up and down with the hue to kind of get the color that we want. And I actually want to try to match her headband there. So I'm going to go about there. I'm going to bring the saturation down a little bit. And right now we're in the master, so we can actually go, the dress was mainly blue, so we're going to actually go into the cyans. And then we can like really fine tune it in there. And as you can see, we're getting close. I'd say that's about it right there. And we can go back to the master. And I would actually say drop the saturation even more. Okay, and there we go. We are now going to go to our menu, and we're going to deselect. And we're just going to kind of go through and make sure we didn't really miss anything. But let me show you how this works. This is an adjustment layer, and it's a mask. So because it's a mask, you can paint on it with black and white to, change your adjustment. So let's go back into the photo persona, select a brush, and we're going to mask in more. And as you can see, we're masking out the area. So let's actually go back, and let's say we just wanted that the dress to change, but we didn't necessarily want the colors inside the peace sign to change. Well, that's no problem. We can just kind of go ahead and mask that part out. And as you can see in the preview, we're now shading. You can see that there's black in the middle of the dress and everything. So this is a quick way to do color changes. And we're going to move on now to the next thing. Okay, and now the final thing that people always want to do. People always want to do Instagram filtery kind of stuff. And it's simple to do, but it's hard to master. In order to do that, we're going to do another adjustments layer, and we're going to do curves. So pretty much all the Instagram filters are a play on curves. And I'm going to give you a brief overview of curves, but it is its own thing. So there will be a video coming in the future on how to really refine this. So this is your spline. And as you can see at the bottom, there's the little histogram kind of thing coming up. So basically the lower left is your blacks and the upper right is your whites. So if we were to go up on this, we would be making the blacks more white. We're adding whites to them, and vice versa. We're adding black to the whites. So the cool thing is you can go into each thing separate and do the same thing. So here we're going to add reds into the black, and we're going to kind of come in and really, we're going to warm this picture up. We're going to do like a warm kind of Instagram-y filter thing to it. So we're going to really bring the reds up in the blacks and kind of crush them in the whites a little bit. Then we're going to go to the blues. And we're going to kind of bring the blues in just a little bit. And we're going to really crush the blues on the bottom to really make that reddish hue stand out a little bit more. And then we're going to go to the greens. And we're just going to do a little bit of an S-curve, just a little bit. Okay, now that's kind of one of my formulas that I do a lot. Let's go back to the layers, and we can turn this on and off. As you can see, we added a lot of warmth to this, and curves are, again, hard to master, but play around with them. They're a lot of fun to play around with, and you can usually learn a lot on your own with them. There will be tutorials coming in the future, but I think I covered the big things that people want to do. If you got something else, feel free to throw it in the comments. I might do another one of these if there's a bunch of other things that kind of come into the comments and pop into my mind. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. Give me a subscribe. I got a lot more content coming, and I will see you guys next time.